Call it 6 for 6. Samsung Electronics launching its latest Galaxy to counter the iPhone 6. June, I hear it's made of the same thing that Asiana A330 fuselages are made of. So what do? Do they go...
No, actually they don't, but
they
they
don't.
unveiled its new flagship smartphone, the Galaxy S6, at the Mobile World Congress at 2:30 a.m. this morning, Korea time. And the Galaxy A6, along with its Galaxy S6 Edge, were both unveiled today. The Edge is a version that has curves along both sides. And in terms of design, which had not been Samsung's strong point previously, so far the reviews and analyst reports are very positive regarding the design, saying that the Samsung Galaxy S6 is the most beautiful phone in Samsung's lineup so far. But other than design, one thing that I had been following was Samsung's recent acquisition of U.S. startup company Loop Pay and its move into the fintech and mobile payment systems. And the Galaxy S6 and the Galaxy S6 Edge will be the first Samsung models that will allow mobile payment systems. So Samsung Pay, which is still in the works right now, but coming very soon, as Samsung says its mobile payment systems will support both the NFC payments and also the traditional magnetic stripe credit card readers. So this is a new development that they have for their new models. Susan, back to you.
All right, the most beautiful phone that Samsung has ever designed. That's a lot of hype, I gotta say, and to live up to it. Okay, so apart from the phone, you know, Samsung's mobile payment system, which has a very original name, Samsung Pay, also focused, of course, on the new offerings. And we spoke to Samsung's deputy president for European telecom operations to see what exactly is the most exciting feature of this new Samsung Pay.
We're absolutely confident that this is not only the most powerful phone that we have ever made, but also the most powerful phone in the market and the most beautiful design we've ever done.
A lot of different features were covered in today's presentation, from battery life to video to pictures. But from your point of view, Jean-Daniel, what do you think is the most exciting feature that really sets apart Samsung's S6 from other phones out there?
Right. The first thing, the most obvious, is the design is absolutely beautiful. And you can see the curve of the screen on both sides. So this is absolutely outstanding. The second feature is the camera that you can launch from anywhere, be the screen on, off. Are you working in an application, sending emails, whatever? Just double click and then you're in the camera in 0.7 seconds.
Okay, and I also just want to touch upon some of the other competitors in the emerging markets, because that seems to be one of the big focal points of Mobile World Congress, how we're now seeing the likes of Xiaomi and other players from China and India. How does Samsung stay competitive in this market with the entrance of some of these new players?
Right, it is a competitive marketplace. There's no place to deny that. And by doing the choice of offering not only one device, but a full range of devices from the top to bottom, from left to right, with various colors and designs, we have made the choice also to be competitive in this market from every angle. It's not one size fits all. We do believe that we need a portfolio of devices that will better fit the needs of all the users on the planet.
And lastly, just talk to me about Samsung Pay, this mobile payment service. It's supposed to be easy and convenient for the consumer. How big of an opportunity is that for Samsung? Because we know there's the likes of Apple Pay, among others, that are also in this space.
So the Samsung Pay has something absolutely unique, which is not using just one technology again, but using different technologies widely available in the marketplace. If we were to use only NFC, for example, that would restrict us to 10% of the merchants in the US only, which is very limited. By adding to this technology within Samsung Pay, the Mag Stripe technology as well, we expand the possibilities to 90% covering of all the merchants in the US.
Of course, the only concern is, though, is if you're now using your phone to transact, security becomes a big concern and a priority for consumers and for companies like yourself. So talk to us about the security angle. I know Knox was mentioned during the presentation.
Yes, absolutely. So in the payment, we have double security with a fingerprint scanner and with a tokenization. And in the whole phone, we have the security embedded from top to bottom with hardware, software, everything supported with Knox, for example, which is our security solution, which is one of the most secure in the marketplace.
Okay, so here we go. The new S6 offering. Is this going to be a game changer for Samsung, which really needs it right now, given that they are lagging possibly behind Apple, according to some estimates out there? Let's bring in Mark Einstein, industry principal, ICT practice, and Frost & Sullivan joining us from Tokyo this morning. So what do you think about this new S6, made from lightweight composite metal? You got Corning Gorilla Glass, and then the stripping away of some of these unpopular apps that really sucked up a lot of battery life in the previous Galaxy offerings. But, is this something that people are going to buy if they already have their new iPhone 6s?
So I do think that from a design perspective, Samsung did do many things correct. They had tried to address the battery issue. The camera is better. The curved screen is interesting. The apps are more useful and helpful. I think this does help secure Samsung's loyal base. Does it really help them, take over people that just bought an iPhone 6? Probably not.
Mark, question. There's some new technologies that are built into this new doodad here, including wireless charging as a standard feature. But they have non-removable batteries in order to keep them slim. But the company says that with a cable, if you plug it in, 10 minutes will give you a 4-hour charge. And also, they are actually moving one step up the food chain in terms of contactless payments. I'm wondering if there are security issues involved.
There certainly are security issues involved. We've seen very large companies here in Japan, like Sony, get hacked. So, this is a new area for Samsung, and this is a risk around security.
Okay, so what about Samsung Pay? Because obviously it comes off the heels of Apple Pay. Is it just me, or for a time, Samsung seemed to be the innovation leader. The refresh cycles were so impressive, but now all of a sudden they're lagging behind sort of the design and the ingenuity of what's happening at Apple now.
I think that there has been for quite some time a Me Too strategy from Samsung. I think that you're correct in saying that. I think that, payments is a very exciting business. Apple Pay, for example, is accepted by about 8% of major retailers in the United States, and Apple's own in-store payments, only about 2% are coming from Apple Pay. So there's a lot of growth in the market, but again, Apple is 18 months ahead of them, and in a market like that, that's going to be very, very challenging for Samsung.
Mark, one of the I guess neat things that people appreciate is a lot of the power-sucking features that the S5 sported. They've decided to flog those off and just throw those to the wayside. It sounds like phone companies are kind of metamorphosizing as people's tastes change in terms of what they want, what they don't want. I mean, there's no real end game to this, right? This is an ongoing kind of experiment to keep the power up, keep the things moving fast, and being in tune with what people want. I mean, people are fickle. Let's face it.
Correct, and I think that Samsung has tried to address that. So I think a lot of the apps you're going to find in the S6 are going to be much more useful, like things like Skype and other Microsoft products, as opposed to Samsung trying to do it by themselves. So I do agree with that statement.
Well, is Samsung going the way of Sony, Mark? I mean, let's not mince words here, because in the second full month of global sales, I think with their last offering, which was the S5, they were outsold by the iPhone 5s, which was an older model. So, who wants to buy Samsung these days?
Correct, and I think that the issue is that Samsung is really being squeezed on the low end by the Chinese manufacturers, and on the high end it's going head-to-head with Apple, and I think that Samsung really runs the risk of being a kind of mid-range company that doesn't do particularly well on either end, and this is exactly what happened to LG. This is what happened to HTC as well. So there is a precedent, and there is a risk in the market.
Mark, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it very much. Have a great rest of your week there in Tokyo. Mark Einstein, Frost & Sullivan, joining us from Tokyo, Japan. By the way, in case you folks are out there in TV land are wondering, he is related.